Gokey Gamer, coach of the Milwaukee Medichams, and welcome everybody to week 4 of the NBBL, finally. And, we are here taking on Steve, SPU, coach, I believe, of the House of Mouse, if I remember correctly. Which, by the way, fire name, if that is your team name. Here are the teams. Flop. Overall, this is very, very scary. I'm shocked to not see the 2 Terra Caps I was scared of. We see Terra Ground Probopass, which is shocking to me. I thought Flapple and Clawouts were coming this week, and neither of them show up. Instead, we do see Sandy Shocks, Tornadus, Ursaring, the Probopass, Ceruledge, and the Hisuian Willfish. So immediately off rip, Terra Ground Crowder looks absolutely insane. We are no item on the Volcanion specifically because I am afraid of the Poltergeist from Ceruledge, so that's why we're running that. I have a feeling the Ursaring is mainly here for the Golurk, so Golurk is built specifically to counter Ursaring, so it is nice to see that there. I'm shocked not to see the other 2 Terra Caps here. I thought if any of the Terra Caps weren't coming, it was Probopass, so I'm a little bit scared. I'm a tiny bit scared. I'm very glad that I have Haze on my Volcanion right now. I think that there's definitely some stuff that I will have to be concerned about for sure, but I think overall I should in theory be fine. I'm wondering if it's like a curse Probopass set, because I have a feeling Probopass is going to be the sweeper, so I need to be very careful. Sap Sipper on my Farigiraf is kind of rough now. I don't know if this is the team they were expecting. I did get a little bit of help, so shout out to everybody that helped me out. If I remember to, I will link their names here, but because their help was very much appreciated. But yeah, I guess without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Alrighty, good luck, have fun to my opponent. As always, let's see what they lead off with. I'm really hoping that it's not the Ursaring, because that would kind of suck. Baby Jack is got Ursaring, that's Ceruledge, so immediate Ceruledge lead. That does make me concerned it might be Scarf, but I think, let's see, Poltergeist will do a crap ton to me. As much as I would love to Terra Blast right now, it's not a guaranteed kill, so I'm just going to immediately go into Steampunk here, because Steampunk is always my check. And then I'm just going to click, I could click Overheat, I could also click Steam Eruption, there's a few things I can click here, but yeah, Volcanion's just always my safe switch. It's very interesting that they led this. I was hoping to fire off a successful Terra, but unfortunately that's not going to happen. I was hoping to catch a Sandy Shocks lead, that was kind of the main goal. So we could see maybe like Sandy Shocks AV switch in, or like the Pasho Berry against Volcanion. What is the switch to? Oh, it's going to be Ursaring. I can guarantee it's going to be Ursaring here. So that's something we're going to have to keep in mind. We are going to see Poltergeist. We are no items, so bada bing, bada boom there. This is always my check for this. I think here what I might do, I don't think you stay in versus me, because I don't think there's anything you can really do to me. Like, you can try to damage me, but you're realistically not doing that much. So I think you have to switch out, and I think you're probably going into the Ursaring, if I had to guess. So I think I'm actually going to double here, and I'm going to go into Rocket. This is a very risky play, but yes, we are going to see the swap here. So hopefully we see the Ursaring switch in. We're going to see question mark, question mark, question mark. What the heck is this? That is Quillfish. Okay, this is also fine. This is actually really ideal because Golurk, I have the Cobra Berry for Golurk specifically, and a high horsepower should just kill this thing. Well, okay, won't kill, but it'll do a lot of damage, and that's kind of what we're hoping to do here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to high horsepower. Crunch is not going to do that much damage to me. I could also just Dynamic Punch, honestly, and Dynamic Punch might be the play. So I think, because you're not going to switch into Ceruledge on a high horsepower, and even if you do, we punish that by going into the other mon, so I'm just going to Dynamic Punch here. This will reveal that we're no guard. We're going to see the double. That makes a lot of sense. We could see Ursaring, we could see Torn. Let's see, Butch, is that going to be the Torn? Is that going to be, that is going to be Torn. So that's Torn. We've got fire of a Dynamic Punch, bada bing, bada boom. Beautiful damage. Okay, so we immediately get the confusion off. Now this thing does have access to Grass Knot. Let's see, Tornadus. There we go. Yes, you do have access to Grass Knot, and that's going to do a crap ton of damage to you if you opt to do anything with that. So I think what I'm going to do here, this could be my chance to go into Cryo. I don't think you click Knockoff, and even if you do, I think it's okay. It would suck to lose the Expert Belt. Yeah, it would suck to lose the Expert Belt. Honestly, actually, no, I think Pheasantipity is my switch. I think Pheasantipity is going to be my switch here. Because even if you knock off Pheasantipity's item, it's not as needed here because Flapple's not here. So I'm okay with doing this. Pheasantipity is more so going to be chipping things down this game. So when they could hit themselves in Confusion too. We could absolutely see them hit themselves in Confusion, which would be pretty awesome. We're going to see a Bleak one, so this is a special build, it looks like. Oh gosh. Whoa. Okay. Interesting. So that's choice specs. Yeah, that is choice specs to all get out. Okay, you know what? Fair enough. Well played. I don't have that great of a switch into this. I think what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go ahead and click U-turn, I think, on the off chance you miss a Bleak Wind or hit yourself a Confusion, both of which would be very ideal. All right, we do see that they snap out a Confusion. Do they hit their Bleak Wind? They do hit their Bleak Wind. This is probably a dead Fez. This is a dead Pheasantipity. That's fine. Okay, I wasn't expecting this, but that is very well played. You are locked into Bleak Wind Storm, though. I'm going to go ahead and go into Cryogonal, and I'm going to Freeze Dry and immediately just scare you out. Okay, so your choice specs. That's really good information to have. I'm going to Terrastalize immediately, and I think, like, your Freeze Dry is just going to deal a crap ton of damage to whatever wants to switch in, so I'm going to go ahead and click Freeze Dry here. Ursaring could be the switch, but if it is the switch, that's fine. We're going to see the swap here. That's okay. So Tornadus is going to be the endgame win con, and that scares me. So we're going to see Hisuian Quillfish come in. So let's see how much damage this does. All right, so we immediately fire off our Terra, bada bing, bada boom. So depending on these rolls with Freeze Dry, this could do a decent chunk of damage, this could not. I'm very curious to see what happens. Maybe I shouldn't have let Pheasantipity go down here, but we are going to fire for Freeze Dry, bada bing, bada boom. Beautiful damage, love to see that. Okay, I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click, well, okay, I need Cryogonal. I can't let Cryogonal get too damaged here. I'll switch it to Golurk here. If they get this read right and they go for a Crunch, that's fine. It's not ideal, but it's okay. And then next time I'm going to go for a Knock. If the Torn comes in, I'm going to go for a Knock. Or even if the Ursaring comes in, I'm going to go for a Knock. Bleak Wind Storm should never kill Golurk unless you are modest. And if you are modest, then I think that means Cryogonal outspeeds. Or at least there's a good chance, I should say. We're going to send in Rocket here. Let's go. We do see the Crunch here. Well played. We revealed the Colbur Berry. That's not fun. Now the question becomes, do I think you do it again? I think you will. So this time I'm going to go back into Steampunk. Okay. My opponent is playing this really well so far. I need to look and see, can Arboliva live a Bleak Wind? Arboliva can live a Bleak Wind, so that's a Mirror Coat waiting to happen. All right, we're going to go ahead, switch out here. Bada bing, bada boom. Steampunk is going to be the switch. Let's go. We're going to see another Crunch. That is fine by me. Yep, that does nothing. I'm actually going to click Overheat here because I don't think you let this thing die. I think you're going to switch it out, and you're definitely not going to switch into the other Mon. So we're going to see a Toxic. That's fine. It's not ideal. This thing getting Toxic against Ceruledge is a bit scary. I think Ceruledge is probably Scarf based on how they're playing it, so that is something I do have to keep in mind. We're gonna go for an Overheat here. Bada bing, bada boom. Beautiful. Quillfish is gone. Alright, so that's one Mon that's down. Here's the nice thing as well. Golurk looks a lot better versus Ceruledge now, because of the fact that we lost our item, so they can't hit us with the Poltergeist anymore. If Sandy Shock switches in, I immediately go into my Cryo. If Tornadus comes in, I might just stay in and click Wild Charge. We're gonna see Tracy, so that's a new Pokemon. Is this going to be Ursaring? This is gonna be Ursaring. Okay, that's fine. I'm okay with this. As much as I don't want to, how much damage can Volcanion do to Ursaring? Not a lot. Okay, I need to switch. As much as I don't want to, I'm gonna let Golurk go down here, most likely. Unless they get greedy and they try to go for a Facade or something like that. I'm very curious to see what they want to do here. We go into Golurk. We see Trailblaze. Okay, that's fine. We have Farigiraf with Trick Room in the back. And actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go into Farigiraf now because I think you're going to Trailblaze again. I think that's what you're going to do. I think you're going to Trailblaze here again. Alright, so we go into this. Bada bing, bada boom. Facade should never kill. We get a Sap Sipper off, which is great. Bada bing, bada boom. And now I'm immediately going to set up Trick Room. Facade, this should never kill. Yep. Doesn't kill. Let's go. We get the Citrus Berry proc. Love to see that. And now we are setting up Trick Room, baby. Let's go. Beautiful. So I think here I just Psychic Fangs for free. There's zero reason for me not to. I could also Wish, but I want to take advantage of this attack buff that I have. So now Sap Sipper actually came in really handy, I won't lie, just because it allowed me to switch into Farigiraf. We are going to see the swap, so this is a +1 Farigiraf that's going to deal a crap ton of damage to something. Is it going to be the Probopass? It probably will be. It is going to be the Probopass. The Probopass is going to switch in. That's fine. Psychic Fangs, boom, does a small chunk of damage. We're going to see lefties. Okay. So now the question is, do I think you Terra? I don't think you do here. I also don't know if you can kill me with anything. I guess you can kill me with a Meteor Beam or something like that. So what I might do is I might go into Olive Oil here. And I do like that play. I like going into Olive Oil here because I'm slower. I'm always slower than this. And then, like, nothing really wants to switch into this. So that's great. Olive Oil is going to be the swap. Love to see that. Iron Defense, that's fine. We have counterplayed that. We can Giga Drain you if you Terra Ground. We can Earth Power you to deal a crap ton of damage. I'll do the safe play in Earth Power here. I do think you might be Body Press, but if you are, that's still fine. I guess it could kill, but you risk, like, dying to this if I have any amount of special attack investment. You risk just straight up dying. I don't have any special attack investment in this, so this won't kill. You do Terra Ground here. Hopefully this Body Press doesn't kill. My opponent is playing this really, really well, so that's upsetting, but it is what it is. Poison, you lied to me. You said you were Terra Ground. Hold up. Okay, well, not that it matters, but you lied to me. You said Terra Ground. You said Terra Ground. You're Terra Poison. That's really important information to know. All right, not that it matters too much. That is really important information to know, though. I'm very thankful about that. Now, I don't want to get a forfeit win, because that's just not fun, but it is what it is. Yeah, that's unfortunate, but it's annoying, but not much I can do about it. Alright, so we get that off, that's fine. Twisted Dimensions return to normal, thank goodness for that. That actually does change things a lot, though, because I can't hit with Krog. Well, I guess I have Terra Blast, but that's not good. That is actually pretty frustrating, I won't lie. I'll Dynamic Punch here. That is really frustrating, though. It is what it is. Again, I don't want to... I mean, I don't want to break the rules, obviously, so technically I do get a forfeit win, but... I feel gross doing that. We're gonna see a Flash Cannon here, that's fine. They were probably making the Cryo Switch. We live, which is crazy. That's crazy, Lord Golurk. I'm just gonna knock off these lefties now. Knock off the leftovers. Hopefully you hit yourself in Confusion, that'd be pretty nice. Let's see you hit yourself in Confusion, baby. Nice. Let's go. Love to see that. I'm just gonna high horsepower here. If we get a crit, great. I'm not expecting to, though. That's a lot of damage, I'll take that. We're gonna see that they snap out of Confusion. Alright, we're gonna see rocks hit the field. That's fine, we have Krogonal with Hazard Control. And I think, honestly, this game is going to come down to Hazard Control with Cryo. I'm gonna go for a knockoff here. I'm letting you take the KO, because this is now my time to send in Cryo. And this is basically now my time to do something with Krogonal here. I mean, actually not really, because Ursaring's in the back. I'll Terra Blast. I don't think you're going to let this thing go down. I think you're going to let this thing go down, I should say. So for Terra Ground, yep, you're going to let this thing go down. Probopass dies. Let's go. Love to see that. So Ursaring is a problem. We know this, obviously. Probopass is going to go down. Love to see that. Okay. Tracy, I believe that's Ursaring. That is Ursaring. So now what I'm going to do is I always go into Farigiraf here. Every single time I go Farigiraf, and then I go into Volcanion and click Steam Eruption. If I can get this Pokemon into range of a Rapid Spin, I win the game. Literally, it's if I get this mon in range, I win the game. That's how I win this game. All right, we're gonna go into Inside Out. Pointed Stones dig in, that's fine. It's not ideal. Trailblaze, I'm not letting you do that. Nope, nope, nope. I'm going to go for a Wish just in case you want to save this thing, but there's no reason for you to. Exactly. Boom. All right, I need Cryogonal to win me this game, I think. Steampunk, let's go. Actually, now that I look at it, depending on the spread of Ursaring, we might not live this. So that's a bit unfortunate. I will click Overheat here. We're gonna see a Facade, so they do outspeed me. That's important to note. So this thing is gonna go down. All right. Our Balava should be able to take a hit. Hopefully. Maybe not, actually. They might not be able to take a hit, which is unfortunate. I have to Hyper Voice here, unfortunately. We're gonna see a Facade. Does it kill? It does. Ugh, unfortunate. Alright, unfortunate loss. Would I have played this differently if Terra Poison Probopass wasn't a thing? I don't know. I don't know, that's hard to say. It is very hard to say. We can't even hope for a freeze at this point, so I think what I'm going to do is here, I'm just going to Rapid Spin. I set up the Trailblaze for him, so it is what it is. Well played to my opponent. We should die to this, yeah. Okay. A bit unfortunate. I don't know. I think it's gonna be a commissioner call. I'm okay with taking the loss here. Obviously, I'm okay with that. I think, you know, my opponent beat me fair and square, obviously. Doesn't matter that they weren't Terra Poison or Terra Ground. It just meant, you know, Freeze Dry or Terra Blast, which one is super effective. So I don't think it ultimately mattered too much. I think it is... We'll see. I think it depends. I think it's going to be a commissioner call. Obviously, selfishly for my team and for my differential, I want to take the forfeit, but that feels scummy to me, and I don't want to do that. So I'll leave it up on screen what I decide to do. But regardless, GG's to my opponent. Really, really well played. We're going 2-2 most likely in the league, which is a bit unfortunate. Yeah, it is unfortunate, but it do be like that sometimes. Definitely got decimated this week, so I need to lock in for the next week. We're actually battling against Nova, whom I battled recently in the UCDL. Be sure to check out that video if you haven't already. So hopefully I can bounce back a little bit and start getting into some more wins under our belt. But regardless, thank you all so much for watching. I really, really hope you all enjoyed this battle. My opponent's side of the battle will be linked down in the description below. And yeah, with all that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you soon! In the next video. Peace out, mates!